guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Simplykrystelle. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to get your makeup to last in long, hot summer weather. Summer is here and it is really hot outside. So these are my makeup tips that will help your makeup to last these hot summer months. So if you want to see this video, please make sure to keep watching, and also if you are not subscribed to my channel, please press the subscribe button down below, and also give this video a thumbs up if you like this content and want to see more content like this. Let's just get into these tips to help our makeup last in these hot summer months. Now these hot summer months are a lot, so you want to make sure that your skin is really properly prepped. Like in terms of, is it moisturized properly? Did you wash your face? My number one tip is that your skin does have to be prepped properly. Skin type is more so combination oily, so I made sure to apply the moisturizer, like a lightweight moisturizer, and my sunscreen, and to add my serums, because you still want to hydrate your skin whether it's oily or dry. A tip for long-lasting makeup in hot weather would be to use either a mattifying primer or a pore diffusing primer. Now again, depending on your skin type, I know it's very different, but I'm just speaking for more so oily combination skin people. I'm going to this Milk Pore Eclipse primer. This is a mattifying primer, and I really like this primer. It's actually a really good primer. So I'm going to go in with this primer here. This primer really helps my face to just mattify, and helps to soak in my oils and all that. And I just started using this trick yesterday, but I'm going to take a little bit of some skin tone loose powder, and I'm going to set my face with that before going with my foundation. I'm taking the One Size Ultimate setting powder, and this is in the shade Dark Deep. It's closest to my skin tone, and I'm going to take this powder puff here, and I'm just going to apply this powder before going in with my liquid foundation. And this just helps to mattify my skin even more, and this just helps to set everything even more. After doing this, I kind of felt like the shine that was on my nose went away, and I also feel like my face doesn't look as shiny as it was looking prior to doing this. So I really like using that loose setting powder before going in with foundation. I think it really works. I think that using a lighter weight foundation is better. Not using anything too heavy, nothing too cakey. My foundation of all time is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I love this stuff. I will never get rid of it. I just bought a second bottle of it because it's so good. It's so lightweight and it's so natural finish, but it's also long lasting. This foundation I can wear for hours and hours and hours, and it doesn't separate on my skin. It doesn't look cakey. It just looks so beautiful and so natural. I love using this with a wet sponge, so I'm going to go wet my sponge and I'm going to apply it onto my skin. Applying it with a sponge really helps it to soak into the skin, and it really helps to thin out the product, and also I feel like it gives you a very natural look. Now with brushes, and you can also get that same look, but I prefer to apply my foundation with a sponge. I don't know, it's just something about a sponge that just does it for me. And when it's like that hot and humid weather, when you're going in with your concealer, you want to make sure you use a very full coverage concealer. I think full coverage concealers, they go a long way, and they do add that extra coverage that you will need in that hot weather. So my favorite concealer at the time right now is the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. I use the shade 44Y. I absolutely adore this concealer. I think it's such a great concealer, and at the same time, it is a really inexpensive price. So I like to go in my inner corner and my outer corner, because I do not like to go too heavy with my concealer, because that's how I like to avoid the cakiness and all that with the concealer. So I do go in pretty lightly. I love using a triangular powder puff to blend in my concealer, and also when I blend in my concealer, I like to look up. Pressing the concealer into my skin, because when you press it in, it really helps to avoid that creasing, and also helps it to not look too patchy underneath your eyes. The last thing you want is patchy under eyes with your concealer. The key to your under eyes really staying put in that hot weather and to get it to last long is by using a really good setting powder for your under eye area. You always want to set your under eye. I set my under eye whether it's hot or not. It's just a habit, but I really love this one One Size powder by Patrick Starr. I have raved about it and talked about it several times on my channel. I use it almost every single day that I do my makeup, and I do have the shade Translucent, but I heard he just came out with a new shade. It's called like something Honey. It's more of like a yellow color, so I really want to try that one out because I think it might, you know, be maybe more suitable for my skin tone, even though this one is like actually really good. Like, it doesn't like have flashbacks or anything, but you really need to use a good setting powder that has long lasting power, like a setting powder that can last a really long time underneath your skin. And honestly, this is like trial and error. You have to find one that works for you, and you know, just find a really good setting powder. And the thing I like about this setting powder is it instantly mattifies my under eye area. Like, instantly you can tell that my under eye area looks so smooth and just really good. And I like to bake with this as well. As I'm baking, I'm gonna go and bronze my skin. So when you're bronzing, you can use a cream or liquid bronzer, but please, especially if you have oily or combination skin, please make sure you set it with a powder, because it can separate because of the hot weather, or it can just start like melting into your other makeup. So you want to make sure that you do set your bronzer, even your blush, with a powder on top to really lock it in and to make sure it stays put and doesn't move. Today's video, I'm actually just gonna go in with powdered bronzer, and I'm gonna take my favorite bronzer ever, the Benefit Hoola Toasted Bronzer. I absolutely love this bronzer. This is like the perfect shade for my skin tone. I feel like it really actually shows up on my skin tone, unlike other bronzers that I've used in the past, like this one. And it's not muddy. It's not muddy looking. It's like actually a really great bronzer, especially for darker skin tones. Before we go in with the blush, I'm just gonna dust away that powder that I used underneath my eyes and also my chin. But this powder, like this setting powder, like instantly, look at my under eye, like they look so smooth and just so matte. And honestly, it stays like that. Like, it really helps to control my oils, especially in that hot weather. For blush, I am going to go in with a liquid blush, but I'm going to show you how I set that liquid blush to really make it matte and to help it last longer. So I'm going to take this Rare Beauty Love blush. I really love this blush. I'm just going to apply it right here, 2 dots, because these are really pigmented, you guys. Like, these blushes are hella pigmented. Sponge, I think the brush was just not good, so I'm just gonna take the semi-wet sponge and just blend that out. I'm gonna take a powdered blush that's a similar color to that liquid blush, because I want to set that liquid blush. And I'm gonna take the Juvia's Place Blushed Rouge in volume 5, and I feel like this color right here is very similar to Love, so I'm just gonna tap this like 2 times and tap all that excess out, and I'm just gonna set that blush in. And also, I'm going to go in with a skin tone powder to set all of my liquid products in to ensure that my makeup stays put. You see how pigmented that is? Now I have to like try to blend out all this blush. A clean brush and just... Alright, so now that we're done with the blush and the bronzer and everything, we are ready to take a good mattifying and long-lasting powder to set all of this makeup in. Now again, I like to use a skin toned powder to set my face. I don't go in with a translucent powder all over my face because I don't want to look too white and casty. So I'm just gonna take this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder, and this is in the shade Coconut, and with a big fluffy brush I'm gonna go over my whole face with this powder. You could do it 2 ways. You could actually take like a powder puff and like pat it into the skin, or what you could do is you could take a big fluffy brush, like how I like to do. I like to like dust it on my skin. Like, I like to just kind of go in swirls around. Sometimes I even go over top the blush with that, but it makes my blush disappear, so I don't really kind of go into the blush area. I kind of go in like lightly with it because I don't want my blush to disappear. But this is how I do it. And after I do that, I take my setting mist. I've been loving this MAC Fix Plus Stay Over setting spray. I take my setting mist and I spray my skin. And as the setting mist is drying, this is when I take a clean sponge or a clean powder puff and I press the makeup in. Now I'm pressing the setting spray into the skin, but I'm also pressing my makeup in so that it can stay in place. And I do like so. This setting mist will have your makeup lasting a really long time. I'm gonna go off camera and do my eyes, and I'll be right back to show you guys the final look with everything put together. Guys, so I am back now with my final face and all the makeup on my skin. I feel like I look a little gray. I don't know if it's the camera settings maybe, or it's just like in my head. I don't know, but I feel like I look a little gray too. So that is it for my makeup tips for long lasting makeup, especially in these hot weather months, because we are in summer now and it is hot. I live in Florida, so it's hot all year round, but for those of you who live in other states, it is really hot. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that my tips were helpful to you, and let me know if you in the comment section down below if you guys have any tips for helping your makeup last in hot summer months. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed down below, and also give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.